What is going on, chill investors? All right, guys. So I get a lot of questions on the wheel strategy and how it can completely um, cap, right? Like cap your upside, reduce your downside, right? Like it definitely puts a little bit of restriction on the amount that you can make. Okay. But, okay, there's a but in there because it doesn't just restrict the upside, right? Like if you say I'll sell it for 9 and the stock went to 15, right? Like, sure, it restricted you. But remember the time when you were trying to buy that stock and you're like, oh, I want to own it for this price. But if it goes, if it went lower, you don't lose as much if you want to close your position. Like, there's a lot of ways this also doesn't just like cap you, but it also protects you in a lot of ways, right? So, for example, like ONDS, right? Everyone's been talking about this stock's going to 18, this stock's going to 18. Well, for now 30 days, it hasn't gone to 18. It's gone to 12 and back down to 8s and 9s, right? It's just been bouncing around here. So, we've been collecting premium along the way. Um, we've also said, we'll buy ONDS for a certain price. And while we wait for this stock to decide where it wants to go and if it wants to be below our strike or above it, right? We're making money while we wait. So you can put your money right into the market, buy ONDS, but your money will sit stagnant, not making you anything until the stock actually decides it wants to move. My goal is to make money while we wait for it to move, as well as if it goes to the upside. So there are a couple ways to go about this. And I don't do this way if the market isn't crazy undervalued or if the stock isn't crazy undervalued or at a good support level, right? Like ONDS has proven time for this past 30 days that like $9 is a pretty good spot to start. Like, again, not financial advice. I'm talking through what I'm seeing, how I do my things. Whether or not you want to implement them into your own strategy is completely up to you, right? But if you want to learn and get better and potentially add a few tools to your tool belt, this is a strategy that you can implement, okay? So today, a lot of things are green and there's a good amount of things that are red. It's just a kind of a mixed day. Um, and we're seeing a little pullback happen. So the two that we did today was on Cypher and ONDS. Okay. So the first thing we did inside of our Discord, and we'll talk about it. So inside the Discord, right, you have the two trades. We have the Cypher trade here there's two parts to it, and then we had the ONDS part that has two parts to it. Okay. So I'm going to kind of walk you through it. So we're going to start with which one are we on? ONDS. We'll start with the one we just did. ONDS. So this cash secured put basically is saying ONDS, we're opening a contract, 10 contracts, $9. Meaning, in order to make this trade, you need to have 10 contracts, each contract's 100, so 10 contracts times 100 is 1,000 shares at the $9 price. So times $9. So I need to have $9,000 of cash to make this trade happen. Okay. So we do that. With this 9,000, they're going to pay us $1.08 in premium. So up front, they're going to go ahead and deposit $1.08 per share. Remember, I'm doing 1,000 shares, so 1,000 times $1.08. So they're paying me $1,000, $1,080 up front. So they're going to go ahead and deposit that money into my account. Okay. They're paying me to buy a stock that is currently, I think, 950 roughly. I can look. 960 roughly right now. And I said I'll buy it for 9 if on April 17th, where is it? On our expiration date, April 17th, 2026, if the stock is below 9, I will buy it for $9. If it is above 9, I don't have to buy it and I get to keep the $1.08 a share in premium. Okay, that is roughly with 10 contracts, the 1,080. That's a 12% return on my capital in a matter of roughly 36 days. Okay, and if I can do that every 36 days for a whole year, that's about 118% return. Okay, now what if you go, well, Colby, aren't you bullish on the stock? Yes, I'm bullish on the stock. Yes, for me personally, I believe it has a potential of getting back and going up to like 18. Okay. Really, my top target's like 24, but 18 is the start. Okay. And you're like, well, if it takes off to 18, Colby, you only made $1 when the stock went up $9. And I'm like, yep, no, I get it. I see what you're talking about, right? But this has to be when, if we take a look at the chart again, right? This has to be when we're pulling back, right? We're not doing these kind of plays when we're up here in like sell zones for us, right? We're doing this down here during these buying opportunities. So what we're going to do, right? Because if I did a CSP, there's not a whole lot of room left for this to go when it's like up here at 12. Like I don't want to take the risk, right? Right here, it's a good risk to reward. So what we did, we collected that premium, right? The 10,000 or the $1,080. Okay. So I get this. And now you're saying, Colby, what if it runs to 18 while you're waiting to get these shares? Well, I'm actually going to go ahead and put this money to work. That is the next step. So the second I did this, they deposit this money, and I went ahead and I bought ONDS. Okay, these are long calls. I bought ONDS calls, 3 contracts at the 10 strike for 365. So 3 contracts. Okay, times, which is 3 contracts, 100 shares a contract, times $3.65. So I took 1,080, okay, that I got in total and premium, this 1,080 right here, and I took it and I bought these options, these long calls. So as long as by January 15th, 2027, ONDS is above 1365, I will make a good chunk of money. Now we can go to the option calculator thing so we can see. Hold on, I will pull it up because it will be easier for you to see this. But basically what I'm doing is I'm taking the premium, right, that I got that they just paid me to buy the stock. They just paid me to buy the stock. And I'm taking that premium and I'm putting it to work. And I'm saying, if this thing decides to want to run, no problem. I have my options, which are, less capital up front for the same amount of like 300 shares. It's not the same as if you bought 1,000 shares and it went up. No, right? But you still have a chance to get assigned your shares at $9 if that happens. And you have these leaps. Okay. So what I'm going to look at is you can go to this option profits calculator to kind of simulate potential. So if we go to ONDS, okay, and let's just say we bought the option January 15, 2027, bought the 10, we bought it for the 365, okay, and I have 3. Okay, remember, we started with 1080, okay? So stock, let's say 8, and I think it could go all the way to 24s, like the max, but we'll just see what this brings up. Remember, 1080 is what I started with, okay? And I haven't even bought the stock yet. Okay, let's just say by September, it's $18. Okay, well, I turned my $1,800 into 142% gain, and now I made an additional $1,560 using the premium. Okay, so now I just doubled that premium that they gave me, and if I don't get the shares, no problem, I still have the options to continue running. If I got the shares and then it ran up, right, even better. Now I have the options and I have the shares to back up with that gain, right? Because let's just say 18 by then, so you have $9, times it just doubles, right? Time 9 times your 1,000 shares. Sell it at 18. That's going to be 18. So you make $9,000 plus an additional 15. So you've doubled your premium and you've doubled your shares, right? If you got assigned. If you didn't, no problem. I just made an additional $1,500 using capital I didn't even have to start this process, right? So we did the same thing with Cypher today. I just kind of went to whatever ones were red while everything else was rallying to give me a little more opportunity. I still have plenty of cash. Okay, keep cash on the side just because the market is uncertain. Investing is dangerous, right? Always got to protect yourself. So you can dollar cost average down if the market tends to take a turn again. But I did the same thing. I said, Cypher, I'll buy it for $13. It is currently, well, now it's green. It was like 1380 something when I did it, but now it's 1403. Okay, so I said I'll buy it for $1 cheaper, and I will get paid $1.37 in premium, right? So 10 contracts, again, 1,000 shares. That's $13,000 to make this trade happen. 13,000. They pay me $1.37 per share up front in premium. That is $1,370 that I made just to say I will buy the stock. I don't even have to buy the stock. If it's above 13 on April 17th, I don't have to buy the stock. They can't. They won't let me buy the stock. So I still make my money. Okay, 1370. And now I'm going to put that 1370 to work. And I have for January 2027, Cypher, 2 contracts, 585. So 585 times 2 contracts times 100 is 200, right? Times 200. So I used 1370 down to 1170. So I still have $200 in cash extra. I can use that to go out to dinner, maybe invest, compound a little bit more, whatever it may be. You have 200 extra bucks. Okay. And what I can do is what I did do is I took that money to buy these options. So if Cypher decides it doesn't want to wait for me to buy it on April 17th and it just wants to take off right now, I can go ahead and make that capital or that capital premium work for me and catch that upside. Not as much as if I just bought it, right? But there's no knowing. I'd rather protect my downside in a time of market, use the premium to capture whatever potential upside there is. And if it does go up quick, I'll make my premium quick. You don't have to keep this till the expiration date. I close them all the time early if we have a sudden spike, and I'll show you guys on our tracker that we have. Okay. So again, join our Discord and you will have access to pretty much, I think, everything that I'm showing you right here, right now. So if I go here, right, here's ONDS. Actually, I just did this trade. Look at, I did this on the 3rd of March, okay? 3rd of March, today's the 11th of March, so we're about a week later in the world, okay? I did $9, $10, or 10 contracts for $1.16 in premium. So it paid me $11.60. And then we had a spike happen and I closed it for 92 cents. So I captured, right, 240 bucks. I gave back the remaining, right? I just gave it back. I didn't lose. I made money on this 240 bucks, right? And now I just picked up the same contract I just closed. I just opened this one a week later. Same expiration date as it was here. Same strike price as it was here. Same amount of contracts. And I sold it for 92, which is good. And then I got more premium. So I gave back $920. But they paid me now at a later date $1,080. So I made some extra back. So I can flip these if all of a sudden we have a spike happen. Same thing today on our spike for Navitas. Navitas spiked 22% today. I could close in one day 50% of my premium. So if I said I was going to collect 1,000 by April 17th, and today it runs 22%, I can close my cash secured put for 50%. So I said I'd take 1,000. Right now I'm at 500 bucks total collected. I can give back 500, close the contract, use my capital somewhere else. There's so many ways to make money, guys, with this. You're not capping your upside, you're protecting your downside more importantly. And if you think there's a true cap, implement this part of the strategy where you take that premium and buy some leaps with it. Okay. And once you have a few, you don't need to do it every time, right? But maybe this time you want to do it. It's at a really good low price. I should go ahead and do it, right? We have 7, 8 months, 9 months. And if you really want to be safe, you can go out to the January 2028 options. You don't have to do January 2027. So that's what I'm doing. That's how you kind of unlock the upside potential during the wheel strategy. But like I said, be safe. It's options. Always protect yourself. Protect what you have. Don't protect what you could have. Okay. Always protect what you have. Okay. Join our community, guys. There is a free version and a fully version where you have full access to my trades. Our bots that tell us to buy Navitas yesterday at 867. Okay, yesterday 867. Navitas today 1078, up 24% in a day, guys. We had our buy alert go out yesterday at close at 867. Okay, APLD 2741. Take a buy. Okay, that said buy alert yesterday, and guess what? Navitas, where are you? Right? We're up another 4% today. It was even up higher earlier today. So there's those. Then we have our other analyst. He had about, I think earlier this week, Monday, closed it for 1,000% gainer in one day. Awesome, right? Swing trades. We're green on SMCI now. And then we have bots. All these bots, depending if you're playing the daily, the weekly, the monthly, okay? We also have classrooms, wheel strategy classrooms. The chat room is full. We do live streams twice a week. We talk to each other. We support each other, help each other out. It's a great community. Highly recommend it. unlock your guys' full potential and financial freedom by joining us. And I appreciate your guys' support. Thanks.